Hey, hey.
Good evening.
It's fine. There we go. All right.
I'm still sharing this out.
All right. Let's see. Okay.
So, welcome to another edition of Supernatural Talk. It's been a few weeks for me, been a couple of weeks for you too. Hope everybody's enjoyed their 4th of July.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We had too many kids and no house on fire, so we're good.
Oh man, yeah, I had a really busy day on 4th of July. I had to work, but it was a fun day at work though because I was dressed up. There wasn't much to do, and after that, had the family over, had friends over, and we just had a big 4th of July party and barbecue before we went to go see fireworks.
Yeah. We saw fireworks right here in the backyard. That was end of it.
We had to travel just like about 2 miles out. It was like a 10-minute drive to go where we needed to go, so it wasn't too far for us. We also lit some sparklers too.
I was looking forward to the fireworks, being that I was in Vegas for that day.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I was actually rather disappointed.
What happened?
Well, there was fireworks. There were multiple locations that were shooting off fireworks, um, but there was no grand display or anything. It's just run of the mill fireworks. Nothing extravagant like I would have expected from a town like Vegas.
The fireworks I saw, I mean, as
Didn't
great
know it
as
was the grand finale.
the fireworks I saw, as great as they were, we wish we could have been a little bit closer, but we still had a good view of them.
Uh,
Yeah.
it'd be two
It's,
fireworks.
where, there it is. Okay. Yeah. They're making almost all the fireworks illegal now, except for the ones the city puts on, or cities put on.
It's like that over here too.
Did you
Because
hear about
people
what
are
happened
dumb.
in L.A.?
What's that?
Did you hear about what happened in L.A.?
What happened in
No.
LA?
Apparently, the city of Los Angeles outlawed fireworks. So everybody started buying them and shooting them off like every other block.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Now, I
guess there
don't know
was.
if that's true or not, but that's what I read.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of arrests were made. Because obviously people were illegally purchasing and getting fireworks.
Yeah, the thing is, fireworks are about the easiest things you can get.
You can't, and for
Yeah,
God's
we get them anywhere all the time.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I kind of find, I mean, I get for safety reasons, but I find it ridiculous now that they're starting to outlaw fireworks because we've been doing that for almost 250 years. Believe it or not, fireworks have been going on for 4th of July really just a few years after the United States was born. They've been going on since the late 1770s. So the fact that they're trying to outlaw something we've been doing for almost 250 years, I mean, that's just crazy.
Well, I think that fireworks have been going on a lot longer than that.
They haven't gone. I guess I mean for when we became the United States, but I'm sure, yeah, they've probably been going much longer before even then.
Yeah, uh, it's ridiculous how easy it is to buy them, and because I see stores around here all the time during 4th of July season, where you buy one get three free or something like that.
We actually have a. Here's the funny part about when it comes to fireworks here in Illinois is that although we can't legally like purchase or keep them, um, throughout through and I see Tom's watching. Tom's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about because when we go on some of these road trips throughout the highways of Chicago, there's these big billboards that are scattered throughout the highway, and you might know what this place is, Jeremy. I'm not sure if you will, but possibly. There's this place that's called Crazy Kaplan's Fireworks. You ever heard of that place before?
Nope.
They would have, like, you drive down the highway on the outskirts of Chicago, and there's like,
it depends on which part that you're talking about, because when I'm driving through, I'm on the very, very south part of it, not anywhere close to the actual Chicago city limits.
It's probably not too far from, I think, from Gary. I think I could be wrong. It might be either Gary or Valparaiso. I think it's one of the two towns they have it.
Oh, well, Valparaiso I go to all the time when I'm
I'll have to look it up, but I know it's somewhere up in northwestern Indiana. It's actually, I just looked it up a few days ago. It was
and while you're looking at that, Tom, it's not that they wanted to keep me in the casinos. I wanted to stay in the casinos because it was 115 degrees
jeez.
out there. My ass was definitely staying inside.
Crazy Kaplan's is located in it's in Hammond. That's where it's at.
Hammond?
And
Okay, that's right there in that area.
yeah, so there's like 20 or 30 of these billboards of Crazy Kaplan's, and the funny thing is, every time we go on the highway and we actually count to see how many there are, because there's so many of them. But it's crazy to think that no pun intended, that they are like a multi-million-dollar fireworks company, and they put these here in Chicago because obviously it's illegal for Illinois, so they tell people to come out to Hammond to purchase these fireworks at Crazy Kaplan, and they've been running this place, I think, since the mid '80s. It's been on for like almost about 40 years now.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me. There was a time when it was illegal to buy alcohol in the state of Indiana on Sundays. So people here in this area would always go out to Van Wert, Ohio, which is only 20 miles away from us, buy their stuff, bring it back.
It was that way in New Mexico 6 years ago.
We pass that way in Van Wert all the time when we go to Mansfield.
Yep.
So never knew about that though. So you definitely learn something new every day.
Oh yeah, and I think since then, Indiana has passed that. Okay, you can start buying stuff on Sundays. For me, I don't care. I don't drink. If you wanna drive a half hour down the road just to get yourself a bottle of beer, knock yourself out. I'm staying home.
No, what you do is get it when it's open.
Yep.
I mean,
see, that's what people around here weren't smart enough to realize.
Or maybe they got paid. Who gets paid on Sunday? Oh, I don't know. I have no clue.
I don't know.
There's no.
Maybe a bunch of people came over and drank theirs the night before. I don't know. It was just a stupid little thing, and in hindsight, it's probably good that they went on ahead and passed it. Probably better for the merchants here. Yeah.
It is what it is.
What are you talking about? They had drones.
They had drones in Denver for the fireworks.
For checking to see if somebody's doing them or what?
Tom's asking.
That's actually kind of risky, because if you're flying drones while they're shooting off fireworks, who's to say that the fireworks wouldn't be hitting those?
Yeah, you could say drone at that point. Now, Tom actually said something. I wonder how they made fireworks in the 1700s.
Oh, I'm sure they had their ways.
They obviously had
they had guns, they had cannons, so it's not that far off from making fireworks.
they're not electrical, so obviously they would have. I could definitely see them
So
using them
fireworks.
back.
Oh,
They use
You
drones
don't-
instead
oh
of
no,
fireworks.
no. I'll tell you what. Here
Stuff,
they were
Chris.
popping fireworks a month before, and they're still popping fireworks here.
We still
I
get
know
them.
because I have 3 dogs in my bed.
That's how it is here for at least a month before, and they do it for about 3 weeks after.
And here you're not supposed to have the ones that go up off the ground. They're only supposed to be on the ground.
Oh, those are aren't those the Roman candles?
The Roman candles, I think, stay on the ground, but they
Okay.
shoot up like this. You can have those, but nothing that lifts up off the ground. Holy hell! I'm looking out there, and there's like what the city puts on out there.
Unfortunately, again, the Roman candles are illegal here in Illinois.
That's crazy.
It
Yeah,
really is.
I'm over it. I got the kids sparklers and
We have those.
and some Roman candles and those little worms that grow when you light them, smoke bombs.
Oh yeah.
We're good. Oh, and poppers. Let me tell you, these kids really enjoy hitting grandma with poppers.
Oh, don't they
I
hurt?
was going to ask you how they did with the fireworks, because I know one of them can be just a little rambunctious.
Oh, he's the one that aimed for boobs when he hit those poppers.
Oh, jeez. This is also the crazy Kaplans I was talking about. This is the banner, like the billboard they would have, like on 30 of these things.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that little shit.
I might have seen that.
That's what I was saying. And Tom says I'm obsessed with that place. The funny thing is, I've never actually been inside it. We passed by it, but never actually been inside. But I will tell you this, Tom, because since he's watching on 4th of July, because Adrian, you mentioned about sparklers. My friend Rochelle, she ended up purchasing sparklers from Crazy Kaplan's Fireworks.
Yeah, this kid, I swear. Yeah, he's that way too. It's one of those. I don't know if he's obsessed with them. He wants to grow them. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm gonna tell you what.
Context, Chris.
He's my little shit. I knew that when he was born. But good
Well,
God,
he wears that little gold chain all the time, so you could just yank him.
oh, I have yanked him. I have yanked him a lot because you can tell him something, and the sky's blue. Oh no, it's not. It's blue green, and what the hell, dude? Shut up! And it's like shut up. But
Wyoming is where you could buy year-round fireworks.
I know that you silenced him a couple times while I was there.
oh yeah, but it only lasts like 10 seconds.
Well, this last one here lasted almost the rest of the night, and
Really?
it started at supper time.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, he's very animated, and I think I'm going to take him and have a day with just him because I think he's fighting for attention. He's like in the middle and fighting for attention, and I think we need one-on-one day to realize what the rules are.
Has that Marshall complex.
Worse.
Worse than
Tom,
that.
I got to respond to this one. Tom, we have never done anything like that when we drive up to Wisconsin. Never.
Tom seems to say otherwise.
I don't believe you.
But I can
I
tell
don't
you right
believe
now,
you, Nick.
we've never done that.
I don't believe you. I think you went and looked
I'm a
at some
family-
movies.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
think
family-related person.
all have learned that Nick is not as innocent as he says he is. And case in point, before Adrian came on here, before we went live,
Oh no,
he said Illinois.
no,
Eileen
The first
would be
time I-
so
no! The first time I did it,
he
you
would be
thought I
so
said it.
proud of you, Nick.
No, the first time I was saying you thought I said it, but I didn't. But afterwards, when I tried correcting
Mhm.
you, I said it. Then I said it.
Nick, I heard you.
Did you? Okay, between Nick and little shit over here in the comments, I'm telling you, you two are full of shit. He's telling me he's innocent.
Oh yeah, we already know that Chris is not sweet and innocent either.
Oh, he is not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no. That's like,
in fact, wasn't he one of the ones that Kate was saying that he's a bad influence on her?
oh, I don't know.
You have to answer that question.
Beer fans chat that we have.
Yeah, I gotta look back on that.
How she has changed after I made the comment that she's no longer prim and proper.
Ask anyone who doesn't know me.
And she was throwing the blame to Tom and I think also on Chris.
Yeah.
So, we know the truth.
Still had some fireworks about 15 years ago. Jeez. I still declare myself as innocent no matter what.
Would those even be safe to shoot off anymore?
No.
No, I was
way dried out.
What the hell are you talking about, Tom? What? I am not even commenting on it. No comment on that. I'm moving on. I have no idea what he's talking about. I really don't.
Welcome back to Supernatural Talk, folks. where we talk about fireworks and innocence and strangling little kids.
And butt plugs.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but since you did, that's another rabbit hole we did get to go down. I had a very pleasant surprise while I was out there in Greeley last week. Or no, actually it'd be 2 weeks ago now. Damn, has it been 2 weeks already?
Oh my God.
Almost.
It's going by fast. Like I said before we got on.
So Zach and I, Zach and I went out riding. We went to a store. He was going after a cover for the pond that they've got in the backyard. And we go to the Restore, which is the Habitat for Humanity store, where you can go in and get stuff really, really cheap, but they're also used too. I got 8 books, 7 hardbacks, and 1 paperback for $4.25. That was steal.
Wow.
And we got there at the right time. Just that day, they happened to be running everything in the store 50% off.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was already planning, okay, so I already had 5 books. So I thought, okay, well, here's a 5, and she gives me all this change back. Wait, what? I said, oh yeah, this is 50% off day here. Holy shit. So back to the rack I went and got some more books. Yeah.
See, he is still living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you to be good, young man.
What? You notice he is not scared of Grandma whatsoever. At all.
I can tell.
At all. Tommy. Yeah? I can hear your game through your headphones. Turn it down. Wow, you're really deaf.
You said that she forgot to give you your shirt you designed, Jeremy.
Mimi. She's going to kill me. I forgot to let her know I was coming to town.
He'll be back next year.
Yeah.
No, he won't. No, he won't because it's somewhere else next year.
Yeah, I'm going down to Louisiana next year. It'll be 2 years before I come back in that area.
Unless we somehow plan another trip, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon.
Oh, you, Chris, you knock that shit off. Don't even.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Chris.
You're in trouble. I don't want to hear you. You're in trouble.
Actually, I found out yesterday that one of that NXT, the minor brand for WWE, is actually holding a pay-per-view event in Denver in September.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm actually thinking, if I were to come back through this way and it's not bowling related, I might come back out for that. The only problem is the day before that, there's another pay-per-view in Germany, and that's one I'm going to be watching. I'm thinking, oh shit, it's an 18-hour drive just to get there. Yeah.
Wow.
Tom's off work till mid-August. Come on, Tom.
Well,
Let's go.
I've been telling him of wanting to come out to Colorado.
Let's go. So, October 4th, Ashley McBride, which I know y'all don't know country. You have no flipping clue what I'm talking about. But Ashley McBride is coming to our Civic Center here in Greeley. Front row
Really?
seats are only $98.
That
Wow.
is not a name I am familiar with.
Neither am I.
Of
Neither
course
for me.
not.
Yeah. I know more of the older singers.
Oh, she's not. She actually
who?
got her start in her dad took her to biker bars. And she got her start singing when they were bored in biker bars, back when you could take kids into bars.
Wow.
Oh wow.
And she looks like a biker chick.
That's
But
awesome.
she's country. She's all country.
There's been a lot of people that are country that when you look at them, you wouldn't think that they were.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. Jelly Roll is one of them.
Yeah, he is very, very not like normal. But he really gives a good message when he sings. He does.
Chris, I've
And-
already been
Oh,
to
country singers go. He's good. Jelly Roll.
Who? Yeah. I'm game. Let's go.
He's saying, let's take Nick to a bar. I've already been to
Yeah.
plenty of bars.
Not
Yeah.
with the paranormal people because you didn't go.
I would have, and when we were in Kansas, I would have, but nobody told me about it. And
Hell, it
Jeremy
was all
told-
over our chats. Don't give me that bullshit. It was all
It
over
was-
our chats.
well,
It was
Jeremy
all
was
over
the-
my Facebook.
Well, Jeremy was the one who dropped me off too.
At the same hotel they were at.
No one told. I'm sorry, no one told me.
You weren't paying attention to Facebook and the chat and
And I have
everything
been-
we were talking about.
And I have been to
Not
bars.
No.
Hey, I have been to bars with the paranormal. You've seen the karaoke videos I've done when I performed at the after parties.
Well, no, Chris, we cannot do that. He gets very, very sick.
Yeah, that is Chris. That is not going to happen.
He gets very sick with that. No, we can't do that. But
I did see a building on the highway. I forget what it said, but it had your name on it.
Oh yeah, you said
Oh, I'm
something
sure.
about me.
Yeah, it was Nick's something.
at Gaines' hometown, where's that at?
Oh, that's up in Wisconsin. Wisconsin. It's
Oh no, too cold. Not going.
it's hot right now up there. Joking.
Shit, that is not hot.
That's in let's see here, his hometown. I know it's it's in the town of La Crosse.
Okay. Well, I know this weekend we're taking some kids, and one of them with the mouth is going to go all the way across the lake but because you can't catch fish with him. I have not caught one damn fish with him. No.
Oh,
But
man.
we're going to go fishing up in the mountains this weekend.
Well, that should be fun.
Yeah.
Jeremy, before I forget, I thought about you like after actually when we were leaving Colorado last year, but I just got word about this a few days ago. But you know, like when we made that detour to make that stop at Jack in the Box,
Yeah.
so I found out that won't be necessary if we ever do another trip like that again, because I found out Chicago's bringing back Jack in the Box. So they're going to open up like 3 or 4 locations throughout the city. So I won't have to travel like 500-600 miles to get like 50 or 60 tacos for my family.
Oh, man. Adrian, if you don't know this story, so every time we pass a Jack in a Box, he was talking about getting these tacos and wanting to take them home. And I'm thinking, you want to get tacos and take them home from Colorado or wherever we're at.
Yeah.
No, enough. We stop at a Jack in a Box, and this little shit right here, he gets a big ass bag of like 40 of them. And that is all we can smell in that car the rest of the way home.
Yeah, because I got them because I know my family would enjoy them. So, and I don't know how it was possible, but they survived, and I was able to get them back.
Oh.
They were good.
So he ate a few of them on the way home too.
That was my lunch and dinner too. I only had a few of them though. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we stopped at the hotel for the night in Nebraska, there was a fridge for them, so I put them in the fridge.
Tacos don't survive. Grease gets into the taco shells, and it's disgusting.
Well, my family liked them when I brought them home.
Oh no. Oh, no.
Well, think of it this way: grease is grease, no matter whether if it's by itself or inside the shell.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Well, now we're having tacos tonight.
Not anymore, you're not.
Not anymore, you're not. Well, it does. That won't be necessary because now they're finally open. They're reopening some locations throughout Chicago.
I did hear that we were getting a restaurant here in Fort Wayne. I can't remember what it was, but it's one of those that's normally over there west of the Mississippi. I can't remember what it was. I don't think it was a Jack in a Box or a Whataburger.
I was about to say, is it Whataburger?
No, it's not none of those two. It's not In-N-Out because those are the 3 that I've had Jack in the Box, but the other 2 I have never had.
Chris,
but they're bringing something over here.
Grease is the word that's on the play. I know what he's talking about for the movie Grease.
You think tacos? You think Taco Bell and Taco John's make you go to the bathroom? Oh hell no.
What's funny is that again, even Chicago is like there's been like a petition lately of wanting to have a Whataburger built here in Chicago. I thought that was more of a southern fast food place.
Yeah. Five Guys. Yeah, there's been a lot of people on TikTok getting a lot of trouble with Five Guys.
We do have a Five Guys here in Fort Wayne.
So do we, but I like their food there, but man, it is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
I've never had them either.
Oh, don't get me wrong. What they do, I mean, they have really good burgers, and like if you get like fries or something, they give you like an almost unlimited amount of them. There's like they put a lot in there, but it's like $25 for like just to get a simple burger and fries. It's insane.
Yeah, not happening. McDonald's do the same thing. I'm not paying that kind of money for something you're going to go to the bathroom the next day. Hell no.
Yeah, it's just I don't even think I've been to Five Guys in like 5 or 6 years now because it's so damn expensive.
Man, speaking of fries, I stopped at a Wendy's at one point on the way home, and it was going to be like a 6-minute wait because they were making them fresh. They didn't have any ready. That's not a problem. Lady brings out the bag. Oh, we put some fries in there for you too, since you had to wait. Okay, not a problem. I'm expecting a small thing of fries. I got like 2 large things of fries.
Jeez.
That was
Well,
nice of them.
Yeah.
it was, but the thing is, I had to eat it all in this one time because it was still fairly early. It was going to be hours and hours and hours before I stopped for the night. Needless to say, I didn't eat for the rest of that day.
Gee. Well, yeah.
Don't get
No.
me wrong, it was good. Those fries are good. They were fresh.
There was one time, similarly, Jeremy, actually it was during the time of DeadCon that Tom and I went to a Wendy's also, and I ended up getting an order of fries, but they just gave it to me without even asking to pay for them because I think at that time they were closing up. So I think they just wanted to get everything out of the way. So they kind of gave, I mean, at least in my case, they gave something to me for free. That was kind of nice of them.
That would make sense.
Yeah. And Tom says currently nearest Jack in the Box from us is about 189.90 miles miles from here. So I believe it. That won't be the case for next year.
And I would bet that's probably 189 miles west of you guys, which makes it almost 400 miles from me.
It's either west in Iowa or it's possibly down because even though we don't have them here, Southern Illinois has a few Jack in the Boxes, so it might also be down in Southern Illinois.
Did you see they're getting rid of all the Red Lobsters too?
No, I didn't see that.
They're closing ours down.
Oh,
I will be going before they do that.
oh my God.
Well, they are a little on the expensive side, but
Yeah, they
But
are.
it's a lobster. Have you seen lobster at Walmart that you cook yourself? It's more expensive than that.
no, I haven't.
I love lobster. And
Lobster's
you go to
great.
Walmart.
Okay.
Here they don't
What's
have those
wrong
fresh
with Red
food.
Lobster?
Remember
What?
the fresh food where you know, in the bigger grocery stores where they have the meats all laid out with
Yep.
lobster, frog legs, you know,
We have that at our
clams,
store.
and well, Walmart doesn't have that, and it's more expensive than Red Lobster, where they cook it for you and you see it alive before you do it.
Jeez.
No. But Red Lobster does have the best biscuits.
Yeah, yes, they do.
Yeah, see, I don't care for biscuits or sweets or none of that.
I know I seem rather late on this, but again, Tom took me to Red Lobster for the first time last year. I think that was when we were in Ohio. So that was my first time at Red Lobster, and man, that stuff is great there.
Yep.
Okay, I am looking at a page here on Red Lobster. It's actually on CNN.com. Last summer, Red Lobster turned $20 endless shrimp into a permanent item on the menu instead of traditional limited time offer.
Every Thursday, I believe, is what it is.
Yeah. Let's see. Red Lobster's major shareholder, Thai Union, a Bangkok-based canned seafood company, lost $11 million. We need to be much more.
Jeez.
Of course you do.
Tom
Wow.
says no one eats frog legs anymore. I thought that was something more popular.
I
in
do.
I was gonna say I thought that was something that it was a more popular thing in France.
No, it's pretty damn popular in Kentucky and Arkansas, where you can go frog gigging. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Aiden found one where we went fishing here in Greeley. He comes back with this thing, and I'm like, why is your tackle box moving?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
he said, I was waiting to show you. And he picks up this bullfrog the size of his hands and shows me his legs. And he said, can I take him and cook him? I said, not unless you have more than one. No. And so the time before that, he found a crawdad, brought it home and cooked. No, we didn't get to cook the crawdad. He cooked a perch that he found, that he caught. Those strange people eat frog legs. Well, I tell you what, they're damn good.
Tastes like chicken.
Kind of do. Kind of, and they'll hop in the pan for you too.
Okay, it sounds like a lot of mismanagement for Red Lobster. So
Yeah. Yeah. They're closing the one here. I don't know. I'm sure there's some in Denver, but I want to go back to the Casa Bonita in Denver. It closed down for a long time, changed owners. I used to go there when I was a kid because my dentist was in Denver. I lived in Kansas, but I want to go back there. They have this, I don't know how many stories. Of course, when I was a kid, it was 10 stories, but they have a diving thing. It's a waterfall, and a guy will dive into a tiny pool from the very top. And that's his job the whole time you're eating is to dive and climb back up and dive and climb back up.
no. In
Well, I love that boat.
2021 and 2022, Red Lobster brought in a new CEO, CMO, CFO, and CIO, all within 2 years. And then every one of them left the company within 2 years.
Wow.
Jeez, wow.
They
So,
screwed up somewhere. Something's
yeah,
going on.
they sure did.
That's a real screw up right there.
Yeah.
Something has to be going on within the company for them to do that.
Yep.
With like the owners, not CEO and all that. The owners, the shareholders, something has to be way off.
Well, in 2016, Thai Union took a $575 million minority stake in the brand. And then in 2020, it doesn't say how much, but they deepened their financial interest into the company.
Guys, I'll be back in a sec. I gotta go get some more water. Be right back.
That's
Water.
right here.
They close Red Lobster. The prices will really go down in the stores for lobster and crab. I wish. I hope they do. I really do, because it is outrageous. I love crab, lobster. I would almost drive to, I don't know, the nearest ocean. I don't know what it is from here now, but in New Mexico, it was Galveston, Texas. I would rather drive there. And, well, of course, you get to enjoy the ocean too, but,
It would be a toss up with where you're at. It'd be a toss up between the Gulf and the Pacific.
Well, my aunt lives in Florida, or my cousin lives in Florida, so I would probably go there and visit. She's been asking.
Yeah, because for you guys, it's a 12-hour drive to Vegas, and then I think from there it's another 4 hours to LA.
Oh, I don't go to that ocean. No.
That's the Pacific.
That's cold. No. We don't go there. I live there, and in the middle of August, it is too cold to get that water. Nope.
It's the same water that's in the Gulf and the same water that's in the Atlantic.
Yeah, check temperatures on that. Google that shit. No, hell no. One's
What are we
bath water, one's Antarctic.
What are we talking about?
The difference between the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans?
Like
The
temperature wise?
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently, the water is cold in LA.
How's
Very
that possible? It's during the height of summer. You got the surfers out.
In August, it is freezing. Check it. Google that shit. It is no joke.
I understand that if you're talking in the state of Washington or Maine.
Mm.
But LA is in the southernmost part of California.
It is hot in LA. The water's damn cold. Nope. I
Hold
did
on.
not put my feet in it.
I'm looking right now.
Well, I thought
All right.
it's supposed to be cold no matter where you go.
I'll be right back. You let me know what you find out.
Nick most certainly will.
Okay. I'll wait until she comes back because I got the answer for her. She's gonna be surprised.
Okay, here is another quote for Thai Union. Former Red Lobster divisional vice president said Thai Union saw an opportunity to grow its business and become a bigger supplier to Red Lobster, but didn't have any idea about running a restaurant company in the United States.
Hmm.
You
Now,
gotta
Tom here says,
remember, business is different in the United States than it is in China.
Let's hear this.
Tom says casinos here offer all you can eat lobsters and crabs in their buffets.
Is that if you're in the buffets? How much are the buffets?
We went to one a few years ago, me and Tom. We got like the crab legs and stuff like that. That was at the oh my god, what is it called? It's like it's in Rosemont. Tom,
I
Tom,
know
help me out with
expensive.
it, but it was expensive. I mean, it was at least about $100.
Okay, yeah, no, that's no, no.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the price.
Okay, so
Errol,
what'd you find out about how cold it is? Because
you
I was
might
there.
you might be surprised.
No, I was there.
Oh, wait a second. This is the weather temperature. Hang on. Let me try this again.
Yeah.
I got the wrong one.
weather is beautiful.
Look at there, the buffet that I went to in Vegas is called the Garden Cafe. For breakfast, it was $15.
Oh, Rivers Casino. It's only $50.
Okay, I could do that. I could do that.
Okay, yeah. No, it was $100 combined.
Okay.
It's $27.
Okay. Now I got the right temperature. So water temperature in LA right now. It was, and again, this might be a little bit, I mean, maybe this will surprise you, maybe it won't still, Adrian. Water currently right now is 68 degrees.
What is it in Galveston, Texas?
I'll look that up next, but I will say this quickly though. It says yesterday was the same temperature. A week ago it was 63 degrees, but water temperature in Galveston.
Oh, ding, ding, ding. We have a kid sighting. Ding, ding, ding,
What?
ding, 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 ding.
We do.
What are you doing?
Oh, hey. All right.
Here, let me put your face in it.
You can't fish in it.
Yeah, no, you cannot pull Grandpa's fish out. Not even with your little bitty hooks.
Let's see. Galveston water temperature is, where the hell is the temperature? Oh, wait, this is not. Okay, I'm going to have to check somewhere else. This website isn't going to do any good.
Yeah, see, Rich was there. He knows. He knows.
Oh,
You look at this ocean and it's so cool, and people are in it. These are the same people that walk around here in shorts in the snow.
okay.
And you're like, okay, I'm getting in. You see these weird, because Galveston does not have these, but they're these weird. Shut up, you two. They're these weird little. They look like rubber, and they're little long strands of something. Rich might be able to tell me what it is, but you can take and whip people with it. That's what we did. So I'm like, okay, this is so cool. We find different things. I step 1 foot in that water. Oh, hell no. No. So what is the temperature in Galveston?
I was just about to get to it. So it is, okay, currently 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
The water?
Yeah, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It even says, damn it, I hate when these ads show up. Okay, in fact, it even says today's water temperature in Galveston is 86 degrees. This water temperature is considered very hot and does not always give pleasure from swimming because it practically does not cool on a hot day. It is worth taking special care of the possibility of infection with various microbes. Then yesterday was the
I find that surprising that there's that much difference in the water temperature.
It is absolutely freezing. And the other one's like a bathtub.
people still are choosing the Pacific Ocean off California. Of course, they also got to watch out for those sharks out there.
Oh man, Zach and I were watching different programs on sharks because they were
Shark Week. It's Shark Week this week.
Yeah, 'cause there was Shark Week on one channel, Shark Fest on another channel. And
That's Shark Week's rival.
yeah, I'm surprised there's a network out there that doesn't have a Shark Mania.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to bring something up about that because I thought about you, Jeremy, but I don't know what's going on. And this is more about wrestling, but for some reason, for the last few years, Shark Week has been hosted by like different former wrestlers. Like 2 years ago, Dwayne Johnson hosted it. Last year, Jason Momoa. And now this year, John Cena is
He's
hosting.
not a wrestler.
I thought he was a wrestler.
No, he's an actor.
I know he was an actor. I thought before
John Cena was a wrestler.
No, he's talking about Jason Momoa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I know. I thought he was a wrestler at one point.
No.
Okay.
Um,
But
Nick,
still,
what is in your hand?
I was actually going to bring that up too, Adrian, since we were talking about fireworks and
It
sparklers.
looks like a pew
you
pew.
really want to know what's in there?
No, it's more of the. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me turn this off.
You were holding it like a pew pew.
No, it's. I was talking about sparklers. See, I still got a couple boxes of these things.
Okay.
My friend, but these are the Tom. These are what Rochelle bought from Crazy Kaplans. I still got 4 boxes of these things. What's really cool about these sparklers is that when you light them up, they change different colors.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I would demonstrate, but I don't want to set the house on fire.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, our house already burned
I
down.
got punks.
You got what?
Punks.
Oh, pugs. Okay.
Yeah, they gave them away. And this year they were actually kind of cool. They gave them away with the fireworks. And they are huge.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. They're big.
They're like, I don't know, probably over a foot and a half, maybe.
Jeez.
They make good hitting kids sticks.
Yep.
There we go. It's a switch.
That would sting.
I can imagine.
But
yeah, they've had these former wrestlers. I mean, some former wrestlers hosting Shark Week. In fact, not necessarily he hosted it, but he did a special. They even had Mike Tyson on one special.
He's a boxer.
He wasn't a wrestler, but he was heavily involved in one match. But
Yeah.
years ago, almost.
Who, Tyson?
Yeah.
I thought he was just a boxer.
He was, and then he got called in to be a guest special enforcer for WrestleMania.
Huh.
And then at the end of the whole thing, one of the wrestlers went to go hit him, and he knocked him out.
Oh.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's
So
pretty-
just so we're all aware, this is choreographed, right? We're all aware of this, right?
Choreographed.
No, it really, that's exactly what it is. Absolutely choreographed. But you fuck up, one wrong move when you're not supposed to. You go left when you're supposed to go right. You can end up dead quickly.
Hey, that's what happened. That's almost similar, believe it or not, to like some of these new specials I've been watching on Shark Week. It's kind of a similar situation. Like they make one wrong move and that's it.
Yeah, but the thing is, there is no choreographing with sharks.
No.
but
No.
it's similar though.
What they want to do.
When wrestlers go in, they know who's going to win. They already know. It's already done. It's done. It's what happens in between that's important.
Yeah. With a shark, the shark is always going to win.
Yeah. They've had some good specials, though. I have to admit, this year's specials, new ones. It's been really interesting. There was one I'm actually going to be watching later tonight. They showed a part of it where somehow there was a giant. I think it was a great white. Literally jumped out of the water and landed its body like right in front of the boat. It was like, what in the hell is? I've never seen that before. I mean, maybe with other sharks, but not with a gray white.
There was one show. They were showing the different variety types of sharks, Even the kinds that when you look at them, you wouldn't think that they were sharks.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You probably saw the alien sharks one then. That's probably what you may have seen.
I don't remember.
When I was in Galveston, they would come up on shore, like they would wash up. I don't know what happened, if there was a storm somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah,
But they would
beached
wash up, and the jellyfish would come with
Yeah.
them. I'm gonna tell you what, if I'd have known about peeing on it at that point, I was only 4 years old, but I remember that sting.
Yeah, they say don't ever do that with jellyfish stings.
Don't pee on them. Oh no, you do. You do pee
I
on
was
them.
told you're not supposed to.
Not if you want to keep continuing to feel the pain. Yeah, don't. But
Exactly.
the ammonia neutralizes their sting. Is it sanitary? Well, probably, as long as it's a guy peeing on you, because there's nothing touching anything in between, because pee is sanitary until you touch something else with it.
Yeah.
Then it's no longer
Just
sanitary.
take a bottle of ammonia with you.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't know what.
And Nick, you're going to find this one interesting. There was another program that we were watching. A guy was creating a like a shark bite prevention suit.
Oh yes, I did see that one.
Yeah.
I saw him trying it out, and then I saw the kind of a prototype thing look like
Yeah.
an exoskeleton. Yeah.
Who in the right mind would want to test that out? Not
Well,
me.
he made it. He was that confident in it. So the maker should test it out.
Not me. I prefer to live.
And
Yeah.
I prefer to be all in one piece without missing a limb.
Oh man.
You know, it happens. But they had many sharks bite it, and all it left was scratches.
Isn't that with the chainmail suit? Isn't that what it is?
No, it was a type of plastic. It wasn't plastic, but it was a carbon something. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it had to be something lightweight because otherwise there'd be no way they'd be able to swim in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was another one where another show.
That's God damn it, Tom. What were you saying, Jeremy?
Well, I lost my train of thought until
There was another special.
I told you, stop
Yeah,
playing with her.
there was another special. Adrian, I don't remember if you were watching this one, but this one guy, I want to say that it's the new Captain America, the black guy.
Yeah, I probably wasn't watching.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So he was doing his own show for Shark Week, and no, it wasn't him. It was somebody else.
Shock? Because I know Shock did 2 specials a few years ago.
No. It's somebody else. Somebody who's not.
I only watched the one episode, and that was it. And that would happen to be that thing.
Hemsworth, the guy that played Thor, he also had his own special as well. But somebody else was doing this thing about wanting to use a bigger piece of fish to catch a shark. And they went into there was like hundreds of sharks in this small little area. And he tosses this thing over thinking he's going to get one. But no, they all came after that
They
thing.
swarmed, yeah.
I do. Maybe that was the same one. I do remember seeing something like that. They got more than what they bargained for.
Yeah. And these guys were pulling up the baits and actually had one of the sharks halfway out of the water before it finally let go.
Or maybe I saw a commercial. That could have been too.
Yeah, I think I might know which one that might have been.
Yeah, I'd never seen anything like that before. And if I wasn't afraid of sharks before then, I would be now.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine the fact that you're underwater, you got sharks, like hundreds of them around you.
Well, what we found out the other day, there was a little Hispanic dude, and you know, when they're coming over from Mexico, freshly from Mexico, they have some really wonderful ideas. They really do, because they bring their culture with them, and I love that. So we were fishing at our little local fishing hole, and there was a little Hispanic dude there, and of course, my oldest one that's here, he loves everybody. And he walked over. He's like, "Oh, you got some fish? What do you got?" He started talking to that guy, and he spoke very broken English, so I was trying to translate. And so later he kept going back to him, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Leave that man alone. He's trying to fish. Stop." And he's bringing him little bait fish. He put on the tiniest hook he could find, which is like 2 centimeters. And he's taking it over to him. He's getting little ones, like maybe an inch long, little hybrid bass or perch. And he said, he asked me to get him bait. So I'm getting him bait. I'm like, oh my gosh. And he kept pulling fish in where, of course, I wasn't, because I had mouth with me. And he said, use chicken.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, chicken? That's for like catfish, because usually bass and trout and all that eat live bait. And he was catching trout on chicken. So this time we marinated some chicken and garlic, and we're going to try that shit.
Oh,
And you know what, Nick? It's really sad that when she says she has mouth with her, I know exactly who she's referring to.
It does not stop. Does not stop.
And we all went to Shields. Me, her, Zach, and the kids, we all went to Shields, and we spent, I would say, half of that time in the fishing area.
Oh, yeah.
We were all looking at everything. The fishing poles, the hooks, the baits, all of that stuff.
Yep. We got one fisherman that sits and watches fishing videos constantly. And he knows what lake can do what, where, how, what fish are caught how. And the other one, he's too lazy to look it up. So he listens to his brother, and his brother feeds him a little bit of bullshit. So, these two, I cannot keep them together. I have to separate one of them upstairs. I cannot keep them together because they will kill each other.
I remember you had them separated the day that I was leaving. One was on the top floor, one was in the room with Zach, and the other was in the living room.
Yep.
The basement.
They will separate, and then they'll come together long enough to hit each other and run. He looked at me funny, or he did this. Do you remember you're dealing with Grandma? I don't give a shit who looked at what. Y'all want to fight? You come fight me. Let's go.
Tom here says, and I've heard him tell me this before, he said he went scuba diving with 15-foot tiger sharks. Really scary. I don't think they're brown, but yeah, they're he said one of them like swam right above him.
They do, and unless they're, they either got to be provoked or I guess hungry, and you look like food, because they'll just go right past you. The one, when they were trying that suit out, they had to literally have bait in front of the suit and then move the bait and put that up there so the shark would bite down. It was, they don't just go to attack people for no reason. That's why shark attacks, when that happens, they'll ask, why? Why did this shark do this? Yeah.
Yeah, well, and tiger sharks in this case, I know I'm not the first to say, they're like the garbage cans in the sea. They'll eat anything.
Oh, no, they don't eat anything. That's the problem. They don't.
Tiger sharks do. They'll eat anything they find because they got strong stomach acids in their, within their body that can dissolve just about anything, like from fish to tires to even license plates.
I would hope that's an accident.
It's probably accidental, but that's why they call them the garbage cans of the sea. They eat anything they find.
And that's one thing I'm really a stickler for. You know, I'm not claiming to be, you know, recycle everything, this and that. No, I don't. I recycle my cans. Yes, I do. But those 6-packs that, you know, you get sodas in, which
Yeah.
hardly anybody does that anymore, but those 6-pack little rings are still there. I will cut them. Each one of them, cut them. Because I have seen videos of fish and turtles and other things in them where it's grown around them. They've been stuck in it. No.
Yeah.
No. I won't do it.
See, I think the closest thing I've ever had to like a possible shark, believe it or not, too, was also in Mexico, Adrian, because about over 15 years ago now, my family and I, we went on a cruise, which took us down to Mexico. I think it took us down to Cancun, in fact. And yeah, it was at that time I was only like 14 or 15.
Puerto Vallarta.
I was only like about 15 years old, but my dad at one point, he rented a jet ski, and this was getting close to like about an hour before he had to get back onto the cruise ship, and the sun was starting to set, but my dad decided to rent a jet ski just to spend a little time on the jet ski. So I got on with him on it, and we rode about maybe 2 miles, I think, offshore. Now they had another guy on another jet ski, like a lifeguard, obviously, to keep an eye on us to make sure we didn't have issues with sharks or jellyfish, or more importantly, rip currents. And we were probably just enjoying ourselves on it for probably about 10 minutes or so. And but just before we were gonna call it, all of a sudden my dad accidentally, he hit this big wave comes by, and he accidentally hits it, and it probably threw us about a good 10 feet across the water. I mean, it literally both of us in. And I started freaking out because I was more concerned again about rip currents more than anything else. And the scariest part too, I think, was being out in that open water and you don't feel any ground beneath you. It's just like you're just treading water at that point. So we tried getting back onto the jet ski, but unfortunately that proved to be quite a challenge because we had nothing to support ourselves to climb up. So eventually we were able to climb up briefly, but then we fell right back into the water though. So that's how it showed how difficult it was. But then at one point I thought I saw a fin, and I didn't look down. To see. So I didn't know if it was a dolphin, a shark, or some type of fish or whale or some other kind of mammal. I didn't know what it could be, but that freaked me out. But fortunately, it passed us. But that gave me more of the motivation, like, we got to get back on this jet ski. And eventually we finally got back. But after that, we just turned around and we got the hell out of that area and made it back to shore. So
here's a little story. Most of y'all know I grew up, I was a doctor's daughter. So instead of, and my dad was an immigrant after both my parents were, but after my mom died and he remarried, we didn't get designer clothes, which we very well could have. I mean, I could have been up with those preppy kids. Oh, hell no, we shopped at Walmart because we spent all the money on a vacation once a year. Well, I got about 12 years old and I didn't want to go anymore. I wanted to stay home because I have boyfriends. Don't judge. But one at a time. But, it was one of those things of, now I look back on it and I'm thankful we got to do it. But even with my first mom, we went to Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Mexico, all those places. So when he remarried, we went back to Costa Rica. And the only thing I remember about Costa Rica the first time, we went up, took a Jeep, rented a Jeep up in the mountains. And it was so hot. I mean, dying hot. And I'm laying in the back of the Jeep open. I couldn't tell you what the temperature was. I was little, but I was sweating.
It was hot enough.
It was awful. And so I'm going, do I really want to go back to Costa Rica? Not like I have a choice. I'm 12 years old. But we went back, and we somehow, my parents always found locals, and they would pay them money to take us around that day. You wouldn't do that today because there's too many cartel, there's too many, all kinds of things that you don't do that. But back then, they'd find the first person they thought was nice. Here, I'll give you this money for you to take us around where you go, not tourist areas, where you guys shop, where you guys do things. Well, we found somebody who apparently owned a boat and had a daughter my age. We went out on a boat. And I remember they cut coconuts on the boat and made whatever drink they were making. I would assume pina coladas at this point, but I don't know. And me and the girl were like, I don't know how far we were from shore, but they were like, the little girl goes, you ready? Let's jump and we'll swim to shore.
Oh my God.
I'm looking around. My mom goes, if you want to, she knows what she's doing. I don't know how long it took us to get to shore, but I know the parents were quite a ways out. We swam to shore knowing what I know now. Oh, hell no, my kids would not be swimming to shore. The hell. But that's, times have changed a whole lot. But nobody worried about sharks.
See,
nobody worried about anything. This is what she did daily when she would go with her dad. So, of course, it's people I don't trust more than sharks, but we wouldn't do this today. I don't let my kids go to the park out here unless I can go check on them every few minutes and they're all together.
See, that was almost even.
You can do this on a daily basis, but it only takes one time for a shark to, I'm hungry.
That's what I was kind of concerned about. My issue. And, you always hear the famous line, like, don't look down or anything like that. I didn't look down when I saw it. I didn't care what it was because I feared that if it was a shark or something like that, I didn't want this, big shark face coming right at me. And
don't look down. Shit, I want to know what's eating me.
Well, I'd rather have it grab my leg or arm as far as I was concerned, because I also realized too that even if I tried looking, anytime I did look down, that would have been about 3 or 4 seconds of strength I could have saved to try to get back onto the jet ski.
Well, when you think about anxiety when it comes to these sharks, is many times on these shows that they were showing while I was there, they would have the overhead shot straight down to the ocean, and you would see this boat, and then all of these sharks that are swimming around it that are that close to the surface.
Yeah.
Wow.
That goes to show that they've been swimming around us more often than we think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they don't attack unless there's a reason. It's not like animals in the woods that are rabid and they're going to attack you. And that's the reason they attack you.
Yeah, like Cujo.
Well, thankfully, none of us were on surfboards, so that obviously prevented any misidentification. Because again, we were using a jet ski.
Well, she's got Cujo's half sister with her.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she came up and nipped me at the knee a couple times.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually gave her a little kick.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. When I gave her a little kick, it was like that, but the way that she acted was like that.
Oh yeah, she was abused. She was abused, so she understands.
Oh.
You need to knock it off.
Yeah, she left me alone for the rest of that time.
Yep. She understands. She needs to understand you can't do that.
Yeah. Sharktopus. I know what Chris is talking. It's that terrible movie they made.
Well, there were several times where she was coming up to me, and I knew what she was looking to do, and I would just look at her, and just looking at her, her tail tucks up, and she starts backing away because she knows.
Yep.
and all I did is look at her.
If she had good intentions, she wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she ain't dumb, but her nature is healing people, so she'll nip at your heels or whatever she can get, any part of your leg to get you to move.
Mhm.
She's a herder, that's for sure. Well, Gabriel just come tell me she bit me. Who? Rose. Why'd Rose bite you? We were playing. I told you not to play with her. Her teeth are jagged, they're broken, they hurt.
Now, Rose, I never had an issue with. She was probably the sweetest of the 3 dogs.
She is until you go to playing with her.
Yeah.
I was playing with Gabriel coming down the stairs, and I told him, I said, "You're going to give me a pigback ride," and I got on his back. I had him and got on his back, and Rose she had her head between us, and she got under my legs, under his legs, and she wasn't having it.
You know, I mean, that's kind of similar to with my cat Slinky. I mean, the one who shows up on camera a lot. She bites a lot. So, in fact, I don't know if you guys can see, I got scratches from her already from her playing. But the scratches are not from her claws. They're from her teeth.
That that cats don't bite unless they're trying to bite. They don't play bite.
There was one time, I mean, like this happened yesterday. I was sitting here and I had my arm down like this, and Slinky came up, and she thought maybe she must have thought I was trying to play with her or something like that. But I'm just laying there, and next thing you know, I feel 2 paws and teeth in my arm. And she thought it was she thought, I don't know what she was thinking, but she wouldn't let go at that point. So that's when I got all these scratches on my arm.
I still want to see you take Slinky and do like what they do in the commercials.
Oh my God, she would hate me for the rest of her life if I tried doing something like that.
Well, the way that it sounds like she already hates you as it is.
She hates Slinky hates everything and everyone.
That's pet aggression, and I understand pet aggression. Like, does she do that when you go to pet her? She'll grab and bite you.
Yep, she does that too.
She's high strung, and that's their normal, want to hunt.
The only time that she's ever truly friendly, and it's not surprising, is obviously when you're about to give her treats.
Mm. Yeah, our dogs do that too. Tom, if they have that, I am, that's probably these days that's looking part of me. I'll sell them. I'll give 2 shits. Now, after 50, you're not a model anymore. I used to be, but at this point, those I have no problem with those. They're still cute.
Do I even ask what that is?
We're talking about feet.
Foot fetches.
Foot
I know
fetishes.
He's talking foot
fetishes.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. At that point, they're still cute. I'm good with that.
I'm pretty sure Eileen would have been saying something long before you did, Tom.
Oh, I'm sure she would, and of course, obviously, she probably would have done it because she's 24.
There is what was it? Aiden was telling me there's some kind of a website for selling feet. They were threatening to sell each other's feet.
Like pictures or videos?
Pictures, yes.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Why are we watching a great big teddy bear with a ghost behind it and what the hell are we watching? Tommy? Tommy, what are you watching?
I don't know.
You don't know. Please turn it off. Find something you do know.
Okay.
Ghosts don't really chase teddy bears. There's no feminine-looking cowboy going after him. Stop.
That almost sounds like imaginary.
It does.
Is it a scary
Yeah.
looking teddy bear?
No. Look like a furry. That's what scares me.
furries. You know, I gotta say something. All this talk about feet and stuff like that, although this is more related to Bigfoot. Did you guys see, by the way, they brought back the again, just watch it during Shark Week because they've been showing the commercials in between. They brought back the Jack Link's beef jerky messing with Sasquatch commercials. Did you guys see that yet?
I didn't see that.
No.
They are back with a good start. I'm glad they brought them back.
That actually reminds me of another thing about the sharks. Zach's the one that saw this and pointed it out to me. You know how when sharks are swimming, their fins are out,
Yeah.
straight out like that. Well, there was this one. His fins were out, but they were curved upward.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it was broken and curved up.
It might have lost part of its fin, maybe.
No, it looked like
Oh,
the
that's
full
actually
fin.
how it looked. Okay.
Yeah, it looked like it was the full fin. It was just that the tip was curled up.
That's weird. I'm trying to think what shark that could be.
I don't know, but he pointed that out. I didn't catch it at first, and then when they showed it again, I saw it. Holy cow! Yeah, it is. It is curved up.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I didn't know fish fin could do that.
I didn't know either. They also captured something rare on one of the first specials for this year's shark. Wait. Chris, here's his Finn Balor. I don't know if that's
Balor.
Balor. Excuse me.
That's a wrestler.
Okay.
He is so small that a shark can eat them all up in one bite.
I'm sure. No, there was actually another special I watched, one of the first new ones, and they captured something rare. Now, they've captured this with other sharks before, but they never captured it with gray whites. But it was not the full-on thing as you would think. I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but they actually showed what they believe was the first time ever caught on camera, two gray white sharks, a male and female, showing like mating behavior. That's never been seen before on camera or even by human eyes. So that was quite remarkable what they captured.
I'm sure there's probably a lot out there because they mentioned it before. We only know just a very, very small percentage of our ocean life.
Exactly. I mean, like when it comes to that type back to like mating, we've seen it with other sharks. We've just never seen it with gray whites. But I've heard though, for most sharks though, that is a brutal experience for them though.
The saying goes that we know more about outer space than we do about our own Earth.
Yep.
And speaking of outer space, have either of you guys seen the recent pictures from the new James Webb Telescope?
Not yet.
No.
They are amazing. They show side by sides of certain things that came from the Hubble telescope, and they show the same thing with the James Webb Telescope. There is so much more definition and so much more detail to it. It's just amazing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, a lot more high def to it. They're finding new things. In fact, I think it was with the James Webb Telescope that they found the oldest galaxy ever.
Wow.
Any life yet?
I'm done. They said they're gonna call back.
No.
Okay. Who?
William, he had to call his dad.
William.
Yeah, he's hanging out with Braylon right now, and they're both talking to me.
Okay.
Rose, what you doing?
Rose. What's up? Are you looking for food? Because you ain't getting it from me. Come here. You ain't getting it from me. No, ma'am.
Oh, yes, that's right. Tom also brought this up. Yeah. ironically enough, I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind on at an AMC theater. They were showing a screening of it. Here's the best part, and I know this might be a little bit surprising for some people. Up until then, even though I should have seen it sooner, I'd never actually seen that movie until Tom brought me to see it.
That is such a groundbreaking movie.
Yeah, it is. And
I
what?
don't think I've seen it either.
Oh, it's great. And what better way to see it for the first time than see it on the big screen?
Just wait till he gets to the part with the mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I know that part. Richard Dreyfuss, ironically enough, stars Richard Dreyfuss, who just 2 years earlier, again, going back to sharks, was the scientist in Jaws.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of legendary actors, we lost one.
Yes, I saw.
A couple weeks ago, Donald Sutherland, and then we lost another one just this morning in Shelley Duvall.
Yep, she was only 75 years old.
Yep, I think his complications of diabetes, and
yep,
Sutherland, who I thought would live forever.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking. I was heartbroken. My mom was heartbroken when she learned that when Donald Sutherland passed away.
Yeah, and both of them were in the Stephen King universe.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
In fact, they also Donald Sutherland. He was in what was that movie? It was made. I loved
a lot of iconic movies.
Yeah, he loved to play with different genres.
He was in the Hunger Games, President Snow. He was also Deep Throat in JFK. That's probably my favorite role of his.
He was also in the 1978 remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yep, he was in that one.
And also
Don't
Look Now from the early 70s.
Okay, I don't know that one.
It's kind of like a murder mystery horror film, another horror film that he was in.
Okay, I would probably like that one.
You probably would, yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Harrigan's Phone, which is the Stephen King movie.
Mm-hmm. He was also in a movie that was actually shot in the Chicago area in the early 80s. He was in Ordinary People. Did you ever see that one?
Ordinary People. I heard of it. In fact, the article that I read on him today had a little still from it. Mary Tyler Moore was in that movie with him.
Yes, she was. Yeah, that was shot in Lake Forest, which is not far from me, and and the actor who played the kid in that movie. I mean, it's a sad movie, but ironically enough, the teenager in that film, a lot of his reactions in the film is actually quite realistic, like where he's crying and stuff like that, because he's not only acting in character, he's also acting that he's actually react because just not long before that, his dad passed away. So his reaction was also kind of in response to his dad passing away. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, Donald Sutherland was in a lot of really, really good movies.
Hey, Jen.
Hello. And then his son Kiefer.
Yep.
In some great movies. He was in Stand By Me, which is one of the best films you can ever watch.
Yeah. Yeah, and Shelley Duvall was in Olive Oil and Popeye, of course. Of course, I remember her most undoubtedly, I remember her most from The Shining.
So has everybody seen the crap going on with the Conjuring house?
I have.
I've seen some stuff, but I'm thinking, you know what? I don't need to get involved in it, so I just don't pay them any attention.
Well,
I haven't paid much attention.
I am involved.
I haven't paid much.
I'm gonna tell you what. Satori is one of these kids They don't pay attention to me and what I do. Cody and Satori, they do. They know who they are. They pay attention to them. They don't pay attention to grandma. And when they're getting bashed like they are, these kids are looking at me going, do you guys fight like this all the time? No, absolutely not. We don't. But is that going to make one of these kids want to get in the field? No. Is that going to make them make fun of the field? Yeah.
See, the only thing that I've seen so far in this case with the house in Rhode Island, but I was shown it a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a recent visit that they made. Undoubtedly, Sam and Colby was there about a year or so ago, or a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last time I've seen anything involving with that house, and that was with Sam and Colby.
Well, the whole thing is when they had to sell the house, they were all involved, but when they had to sell the house, they were really picky about the owners of the new Conjuring house.
They were. I remember hearing that.
They really thought they were right in this. And all they did was drag their name through the mud. And I don't know if they're trying to make a name for themselves. I don't know. I asked for evidence. Show me. Show me what you're accusing them of. Show me. They can't.
All I know is something started about some method that they were using and using their shoes to stomp on the floor, and people were saying, well, you need to do this barefoot and we need to see the video. I'm thinking to myself, okay. And then they disassociated themselves from the Conjuring house completely.
Right.
Like a whole list of people.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, not my business.
Mm-hmm.
And now today I'm seeing these hashtags about we stand with Heisen or something or other.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on here? This has been going on for weeks. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, really.
It's been going on for about 6 months.
It just seems like it's going on like to no end.
And now the law is involved.
See, I often wonder, like, because obviously I know they still talk about it. I often wonder how Andrea and the rest of the parent family has been feeling towards what's been going on over there.
Who?
The parent family, especially Andrea.
I don't know.
Because I've met Tom and we've met Andrea a couple times, and she never really had talked about the current circumstances of the house itself, but she obviously explains from her past what happened over there.
She
Right.
passed away recently, didn't she?
She what?
She just passed away recently.
No, it was not Andrea. It was actually her mom, Carolyn. Carolyn passed away.
Oh, okay.
She was like in her early 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But the bottom line to all this, it's not just this. It's Mary Jo and her mess. They bashed her for no reason.
Yeah.
It's these locations, and it's the newer ones that are just, I don't know, they're trying to gain clout by being awful people. I don't know what's going on, but it really, really needs to stop because this newer generation is paying attention. Just like Jan, if she's still on here, I don't know.
She probably is.
Baby Abby.
I haven't seen the number change, so she's probably still watching.
Baby Abby is absolutely obsessed with, well, we all know who she's obsessed with. Not the point. It's because she sees respect out of him.
Yes, she is. She's still here.
Abby sees respect out of him, sees clout out of him. This is not what we're seeing. And this is, when one of my kids said that, I'm like, we have a problem. This field has a problem.
See, I've almost been tempted. I know I was supposed to do this earlier this year, but unfortunately, I just didn't have the chance to do it. You guys remember I said I wanted to try to make a visit to my former paranormal club, which again, I just didn't have time to go through with it. But I'm hoping, obviously, not immediately, but a few weeks after the school year begins, I'm hoping to make a visit maybe later this year.
Sure.
And when I go in, I mean, yes, I obviously have to talk a little bit about myself first, but I eventually want to try to get these new kids, obviously our next generation, to get them to understand what the real paranormal community should be all about. And when
And
it comes,
that's what we have to do. And we have to mention this drama bullshit and how to stay away from it. I'm sorry, what, Rich?
see, and I've even thought, I mean, I don't know if I could do this, but I wish maybe it's a possibility, but for now, there's not really much I can do. I wish there actually is some way that maybe somehow I could, work with that former paranormal club, like if there was some way to do so, which I don't know if there really is, to really, again, get them to really understand what it should be and not the way how a lot of other investigators have been going in the wrong direction.
The
Well,
other issue
please
that is
explain.
hurting the field badly is what's being shown on TV.
Oh,
That's-
right. That's very true. That's correct. But us all in here, the locations bashing each other, people bashing the locations. I'm sorry, Rich, what is going on? Because that place is one of my favorite places. And the owners, those two are the most genuine. Dan and Connie. That was the first location I ever went to that I actually got activity. And those people are amazing people. I don't know what the hell somebody's talking about,
Yeah, I haven't heard about this one.
but let me tell
No,
you, I will be the first to. No way.
Yeah, we even had Dan on one of our earlier shows.
Yeah,
Well-
we did.
They're cheap. Number one, they are cheaper than anybody else. They are amazing people. They stay there with you and they stay the hell out of your way. You ask for them to help, they will be there. You ask for their advice or history, they are there. Other than that, they don't say a word unless you ask.
Yeah, funny enough,
That's great.
funny
You
enough,
don't see that very often.
what Tom said, Corey and Satori, they were in Mansfield earlier this year. We saw them there. So
What did you think of them? What did you get off of them?
they actually were really nice, like to chat with. And you know what? I'll tell you guys one thing. We were talking to them about some other locations for them to check out, and they were actually interested. We got them interested in wanting to come out to Chicago to go to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, for example. And we weren't trying to do this obviously again for the fame or anything like that. We just told them about these locations because we thought these would be good locations for them to check out. They were really nice. And you know what's funny? I didn't even tell Tom this yet. That same special I saw with Sam and Colby when they were at the house in Harrisville, they had them with. And I was like, oh my God, it's Corey and Satori. We just saw them a couple weeks ago. And but yeah, actually meeting them in person, they're really nice. We for quite a little while. I think they were actually the last people we spoke with before we had to leave to come back home. So, but we got them interested and want to come out to our area.
I'm going to tell you, Cody and Satori, they did something that I will not forget. I wasn't involved, had nothing to do with me. But my girls that come here from upstate Colorado, Chris knows who they are. There was a race going on over there. There was some kind of fundraiser, race, something. They were supposed to be there. They did show up. But Stephanie's daughter was not able to go. She was sick. That was the only reason she wanted to go, was to meet them. They did a video for her. They didn't have to do this, but they did a video for her saying, I wish you were here.
Jeez.
That meant the world to that little girl.
I bet.
And, there's not a lot of people are going to do that. Take that time. It was 10 seconds. 10 seconds of their time. But to that little girl,
That was huge for her.
that was the world. And they had no problem doing that. Not a hesitation. So, do I believe they fake their shit? Absolutely not. If I did, I wouldn't be behind them. But unless you are right there with them, you cannot tell who fakes what. We're
Exactly.
going to send you videos and bullshit pictures all day long. Unless you're there to know who was standing here, who was standing here, who was doing this, you don't know. They
See,
have handled this graciously.
See, and that goes once again about like what I think about what the not current, but what's the future group of my paranormal club. Like, I don't know. I've never found out if they ever do like investigations of their own. Like I often wonder a lot of times like what they've been doing for these last couple of years, for the club, if they actually gone on to these investigations and if they even have tried attempting to do it, without trying, regardless of the fact, without trying to fake anything. That's what I often wonder.
And we don't know that. I mean, seriously, teenagers are teenagers. They want the clout. But when you're an adult and you are doing this shit, that's a whole different story. Now, if you're able to go in with these kids and say, we know when you're doing this is not respectable in the community and you will get shunned.
I
that's okay.
Well, and we did something like that several years ago at that high school, Schurz High School, where we had a whole bunch of kids. Now, unfortunately, some of the kids couldn't stay past, I think it was past 11 o'clock or midnight because many of them were under 17. So, the ones 17 and older could stay, but not, or wait, yeah, it was 17. Yeah, the ones 17 and older could stay, but the younger ones had to leave by like around 11 o'clock or so. And when I actually used to work with it, this was back when I used to work with Dave Wismer. And there was one time where I wasn't there to witness it, but Dave later told me on that some of these kids, as you can imagine, weren't really taking it very seriously, unfortunately. And sometimes they're trying to fake some of the evidence. And it got to a point where, and I don't really blame Dave because he was pretty much scolding these kids. He's like, look, if you guys are not going to be serious about this or not going to understand how investigations work, you might as well just go home.
Go home. Yep.
That obviously some of those kids did in fact leave. I think for many of the others that put them and kept them in line because they knew at this point that this was a serious thing.
Yeah.
And they were told too in the very beginning that it's not like what you see it's not necessarily like what you see on TV. You're not going to have things happening to you like every 5 minutes. You're not going to have apparitions showing up right in front of you or anything like that. We told them that once, and I know I've said this myself several times. It's one of those things that you certainly have to be at the right place at the right time to experience something like that. And the rest of those kids, what?
And that's rare.
It's very rare.
Right.
So the rest of these kids that were willing to cooperate with us, they understood then that there's no guarantee. And there was there was also
ghost fishing. That is
Ghost fishing.
probably a better description of what a lot of these people are doing today. They're not ghost hunting, they're ghost fishing.
Exactly.
Well, and that's the thing, I don't very often stand up for people because either I've not been there, none of my business. I don't know anything about them, none of my business. Now, Old Park Hotel, anybody who has anything bad to say about it can kiss my ass, because if their issue was they wanted 5-star bullshit, look on their website. It'll tell you there's no air conditioning. There is, none of that. But you know what? Those people stay with you all damn night.
Yeah.
And I've been there more than once. Those people are amazing. Whoever has something to say can definitely text me, message me, whatever you got to do. I don't give a shit. I can tell you what's there. I can tell you who's not there. I can tell you what entity follows you home, because it will. No. Talking about them, I will have a problem.
There was
Cody,
also one other-
the Satori issue,
Yeah.
I'm not 100%. I have not seen enough on that. I have not been there personally.
None of
The
us.
Conjuring House, I have a problem with.
Yeah. There was one other time, I just want to bring this up too, and this actually happened a few years ago. There was another time too where somebody was upset that nothing was happening too, like what we were just talking with. I was helping out. In fact, Jeremy, maybe I told you about this before. I don't know if I told you, Adrian, but again, Tom was with me on this too. This was about like 5 years ago, I believe. And we were actually helping out with Ursula Bioski with a ghost tour. And we were stopping somewhere. It was like, I don't think it was too far from Gurney, which was far more north. And we went to this open grassland plain field area because supposedly I think there was like a noose or something that once existed of like I don't remember what it was, but we get there and we explore the area and again, these ghost tours, obviously they're not always at night. This was one that occurred during the day, although by then the sun was starting to set. And then after we spent our time there, we started heading, well, actually, no, let me take that back. No, when we were on this area where the supposed like hanging tree or whatever it was, I hear I could hear these people behind us, and these are not kids this time. These were like adults. I could hear them, and so did Tom, who said, like, we heard these people saying, geez, we paid all this money to go, and we have not experienced anything. Like, they call this a ghost tour. We paid all this. I got to be honest with you guys. I mean, even though I was probably one of the younger people, like, on the crew, like, only in my mid-20s then, still, it didn't matter. I was ready to turn around and just yell, saying, look, if you guys are not fascinated by what you guys are, you might as well wait on the bus until we're ready to go. I mean, it pissed me off. I mean, I was almost ready to tell them, fine, if you're not happy, just go away on the bus until we're done.
You are not an investigator if you think that things are going to happen on command.
Exactly.
You need to just go on. A ghost tour is nothing more than history.
Yeah.
That's a ghost tour.
But just like the actual investigations, you'll be lucky if you have some kind of experience. I mean, if you have an experience.
Investigations, looking for a ghost is not the end all be all of what we do.
It's not.
Exactly.
And Chris, I'm going to tell you something. That Enfield house, I have a problem with that too.
Oh, that's not Enfield. That's the Demon Murder House in Brookfield, Connecticut. Yeah.
Okay, well, the Enfield house, I'm going to tell you something. I have a problem with that because that's one of my friends that they bashed for the last 3 months. And she has shown, just like these people have, the old owners of the Conjuring House. She has showed the video. She was on live. She upheld her proof. And I know her. She's amazing. No. They're not going to bash her like that. She was on lives day after day showing proof every single day. A person should not have to do that to defend their honor. They should not.
Exactly. Chris, Enfield, that was in the UK, not in Connecticut.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's getting the two mixed up. You have the Demon Murder House in Brookfield, Connecticut. The Enfield House, that's in the UK in Enfield.
We're talking about the one Mary Jo just went through.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, Tom, what he just said, what this whole issue we had with these people. Yeah, it was only a tour, not an investigation.
Right. And even if it was an investigation, when you go into an investigation, it may not happen. You can pay $1,000, split it with people. It doesn't matter. That's to help pay for the location. The location and the history is real.
Yeah.
Now, whether you catch evidence or not, that's on you. They may not want to play that night. That's not anybody's problem. You paid to stay there. That's all you paid for.
You know, it's no different, in fact. And I know we talk about it a lot of times. I would even say it's almost as similar to like even storm chasing. Like when you're trying to chase tornadoes, basically, you could drive like 500-600 miles a day or so and not see a single storm system out there. I mean, you think that these weather systems are developing, you go down to these areas and the storm does not do what the storm chaser wants it to do. That's unfortunately, it's really no different. I mean, that's, as I would say, that's another part of life for you. There's no guarantees when you go out and chase these things.
Well, I'm going to say something that's going to be probably pretty controversial, but that's okay. We all know I am.
Of course.
Spirits are attracted to certain people. You got somebody that's a real asshole in there, and they're giving off negative energy, and the person and the spirit that's in there is scared of it. Of course, they're not going to communicate.
That's
and
what we dealt with.
Cannot ring this little bell and go, hey, come do some parlor tricks. Are we going to do that when we're dead? No, hell no, we're not.
And that's probably what we dealt with on this tour. Like we had these rude guys, and we had one of those investigators. I'm not going to say who, but we had one of those investigators who was trying to do it for the fame and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And no, I think now there was probably a good reason why we didn't get any activity at all, because of this disrespectful, rude behavior.
Right. And you're going to get one or two things with that behavior. You're going to get nothing, which thank God you got nothing. Or you're going to get a very equally hateful spirit that you can't see and is going to do some stuff to you that you wish you had not encountered.
You know, there was one time I could still remember this. Remember when I investigated that bar last year where that woman contacted? It was the Bad Attitude Bar and Grill. She told me a story of a guy who, I guess it's not surprising though. He didn't believe in this kind of stuff, and he just went onto the bar and he just went into the bar and just started mocking whatever was there. And he actually climbed up on a table and stood up with his arms out, thinking that, you know, that
I wish I was there. I didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He thought it was all dumb and stuff and was laughing at it. And literally just before he was about to say the typical, like, see, you guys are crazy or something, an unseen hand literally pushed him off the table and knocked him down to the ground. So thankfully he wasn't severely injured, but after that he was like, well, I guess you guys were right. I'm never doing that again.
He got people have to learn the hard way.
He definitely did. He almost got seriously. He could have broke an arm or leg that night. So he paid the ultimate price that night.
We only got a couple minutes left before we got to get off here.
Yeah,
Make sure we start. In a few weeks, I've got a guest coming on in August.
August. Okay.
Her name is Nancy Timms, or something like that.
Not familiar.
Well, she's the one that I showed you guys in the chat.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, I take that back. Yep.
Yeah, so I am actually going to have her on 13th Dimension this month. I'm going to have a one-on-one with her, and then next month I'm going to throw her to you guys while I'm on hiatus.
Okay.
And you guys can ask her your own questions. The way that I'm doing it this way is because if I'm in on that show, then it's gonna, for me, it's probably going to be like a lot of the same thing. So I figure if I get her on one show with just me, we'll have different set of answers, and then when she's on this show with you guys, then you'll be able to have a completely different conversation.
What on earth are we talking about?
The guest that I picked up for us for next month. So I'm having her on 13th Dimension at the
Okay.
end of this month.
Okay.
Just be me and her. And
Okay.
then she'll come to you guys in a couple of weeks while I'm out.
Okay.
Then you guys can be able to ask her your own questions.
Okay. Rich. So you know these people that we're talking about at Old Park. I'm gonna tell you something. That was the first experience I ever had, and I doubted it because the people I was with were crooked as hell. But I had done experimentation, not experimentation. I was new to the field, and I did a lot of research on, they talk about killing Jim Miller in there. So I thought, okay, so that's the spirit that they say is in there. I'm going to do some research. I got there. Everybody had went to bed, didn't catch nothing. 2 a.m, somebody gets me up, says, come on. We go into a room, the chair room, and we do this. I said, okay, they had that spirit box going. I couldn't even hear anything over that spirit box. I was so done with that thing. But I was like, I'm telling him his kids' names, his wife's names, his last words he said when he died. What happened to his wedding ring, his hat, that they would not allow him to wear his, I don't remember if it's been years ago now, his cloak or his hat, one of the two when he passed away. I know where he passed away. It was not there. It was in Oklahoma. And we were, I was just naming the things and his horse and all that stuff. And the guy that was with me over the machine was saying, do you hear? He said, did you hear what that said? And I said, no, I didn't, but I hear a whistle behind me. It's like, I didn't hear a whistle. I heard it twice, like a horse, like you'd call a horse. He didn't hear it. So I thought, okay, I'm imagining things. I'm done, whatever. We played it back. We heard it 4 different times. And, while I was telling this story or calling to him, I thought, okay, we're done. We're going to bed. A week later, I'm sitting outside. I work graveyard shift. I'm sitting outside, live way out in the country. And I hear that same whistle. I'm like, it's time for me to go to bed because obviously I'm tired. I'm done. That night, I have this thing that's been sitting over my bed for years. And you got it at Tractor Supply. It was a beer cap, Texas spur, and a bottle opener. And it was only about maybe a foot tall on a piece of wood. Sitting in the bed. Middle of the night, my then husband gets up and goes, what the hell just happened? He's bleeding. And I mean bleeding. Because that thing fell down. The spur hit him in the side of the head and pierced him. Okay. It's time to get Mr. Miller out of there. Because Mr. Miller attached. Because I did so much research. I was attached to him. At that point, in my mind, I was making excuses for why he did the things he did. Wrong? Yes, absolutely. Now I know this. But I was that enthralled with him thinking, but I always see both sides of everything. And I'm like, maybe he was just trying to make a living for his family. Maybe he, whatever. Not okay. But, we've seen lots of that person in there. These people don't lie. They don't. And even when I talked to them, they were like, it's possible. Is this the picture you saw? And I'm like, no, I did not see a picture of him. I just know what happened and heard it. Okay. They didn't even try to, yeah. That's what, no. I know what happened. People with me know what happened. But that place is nothing to mess around with. People have been pushed down the stairs. People have been thrown out of that chair. But for people to bash that place, they can kiss my ass. Because the owners are amazing. They can hike those prices if they wanted to. The experiences are amazing if you want to be a decent person. Rich, I'm glad you didn't. I think
Yeah.
women, and he never hurt me. He never hurt. He was right to hurt my ex. He's all right.
Actually,
I like
Storm got scratched there.
Ashley, yeah. I think Ashley went toward the portal in that closet, and I think she called to a few things that she probably shouldn't have. But I mean, yeah, it's always possible.
Is she the one with the broken bow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ashley's really a nice person. She is. I love her to death. I respect her. I have nothing, just like, Stormy Daniels. I have nothing bad to say. I respect her as a paranormal investigator. I love her. People can talk shit all they want to about anything they want to. Those of us that know the people's hearts, we respect them.
Yeah, definitely.
They can talk shit all they want. I don't care what they've done in their past. Shit. They can talk about me all they want to.
Okay, we need to get off here. The next show's on already. So we will be back next week. Hopefully we'll have Eileen with us, but
No
Yeah.
promises.
so swamped right now.
No promises.
Yeah,
There
Maybe
actually
that's
is something I'd like. There actually something I'd like to share to you guys that Tom gave me, but I'm waiting until Eileen comes back. It's something funny, but I gotta wait until Eileen comes back.
you might be waiting a while.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but hopefully she'll be back soon. We miss her.
We
We do.
do.
Yeah. So anyway, until next week, everybody, thank you for playing along. We'll come up with something next week. We don't know yet. We just kind of fly off the handle.
I thought
See
you
what
said
we-
at one point, Adrian, you were going to try to get Jan back on or something.
What's that, Nick?
I did.
I thought at one point, Adrian, you said you wanted to try to get Jan back on like we did last 2 weeks ago.
No. He has an open invitation anytime we don't have a guest. She knows that.
Yeah.
So until then, apparently something I don't know about.
I don't look at me. That was her idea.
No, that's my girl. I love her. I
Whenever.
couldn't live without her.
Just as long as we don't catch her on the road.
Oh no, she's fun on the road. She's fun.
All right, so everybody, until next week, Myth or Mysteries is on now. That's always a fun show to watch. So until then, you guys have a good week and enjoy Nick's laughter.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.